Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Quinette. Some of you may know me as a life coach from Keep On Keeping On Coaching, also known as Coco Coaching. I'm here today to talk about why it is important for us to practice social distancing. Okay, I will be referencing some concepts from a textbook that I'm reading right now for my sociology class. In the description, you will find the reference to that textbook in case you would like to purchase it or read more information about it. So, why is social distancing important during a pandemic such as this one? Well, first of all, we have to understand why social distancing is even one of the best ways to prevent this. The reason why the government has put into order the shelter in place and safe at home orders is essentially to protect not only you, but at this point, the entire world. Okay. When people do not comply with what we should do, which was prior you were supposed to stay home and not be around other people were not complying. And so now the government has had to step in to enforce certain policies. What does it mean to comply? Compliance in the medical world means to follow the advice of medical and experts alike. Okay? That's important to know. Okay? Compliance is about your willingness as an individual to follow medical advice. When we do not follow medical advice and it is putting thousands and millions and billions of lives in danger, it is the government's role to step in and make sure that they are doing what they have to do to protect us. So, because we are not complying as individuals, the government has to put orders in to help society comply. I will say that this video is spoken from a sociological standpoint. What that means is it is given through the perspective of how individual decisions impact a society, okay? Which is a great example of what's happening right now. What is happening in society and the spread of this virus in society can be controlled by individual decisions. Okay? So, why are people not complying? That is an excellent question. Why are people in Florida still on the beach? Why are people in the Southern California region still gathering on the beach? Why are people still going outside, hanging out, and having birthday parties? Why? Well, if you look at the health belief model, according to my textbook, this is what the health belief model says. In order for people to make a healthy decision, they have to, number one, they have to believe that they are susceptible to the problem that we're talking about. Number two, they have to believe that the problem is serious. Number three, they have to be willing to adopt measures that will prevent them or reduce the risk for other people. And number four, there cannot be any significant barriers that make it difficult for them to adopt those measures. So let's apply this health belief model to the pandemic that is currently happening in our world. Number one, people have to believe that basically this affects them and that they can or that they are susceptible to this health problem. They are susceptible to the symptoms that comes with the virus. Unfortunately, a lot of the news sources are saying that you have to be vulnerable, that you have to be a certain age, and that you have to have certain underlying health conditions. Well, we do know that anyone can be affected physically by this virus. Now, the extent to which that is going to vary. Okay. For more accurate information about the symptoms of the virus, please visit the World Health Organization or the CDC website. Those links will also be available in the description. Okay, so one, they have to know that yes, this virus can affect you. It can give you health problems. If you don't believe me, you can go look at the data yourself. Please do so. Number two, you have to believe that the problem is serious. Unfortunately, there are millions of people right now who do not believe that this virus is serious enough simply because they do not understand the impact that it is making not only on individuals but the community and ultimately the world as a whole. So again, how do you help people take this serious? Please tell them to go look at the facts, tell them to look at the numbers, and tell them to look at the data that is available for free online through the World Health Organization or CDC, Center for Disease Control. 3, how can you, some people don't want to choose healthy decisions. They don't want to comply with the orders because they are not adopting or they don't want to adopt preventative measures that will reduce the risk. Simply giving them information, showing them the data, I believe will allow them to be motivated to start putting preventative measures in place for themselves. And last but not least, why do people choose not to follow the order? Why do people choose not to be healthy? Well, we have to also make sure that there are no significant barriers that are in the way that are stopping them from those measures. Thankfully, the government has stepped in, and because they have closed certain businesses, it has almost forced people to comply. And so the barrier of, let's say, oh, I can't practice social distancing because I have to go to work. Well, that barrier is now no longer there because the business is not even open for you. It's not an option anymore. For some people, they say, I can't follow the social distancing and stay inside because I have to go to the store and make sure I have enough food for my family, which is understandable. So you have to ask yourself, how can I remove that barrier? Well, one way is to make a list, a very thorough list, and make sure that you get everything that you need for, let's say, the next 30 days. And do that in one trip instead of allowing fear to take over and going to the store multiple times a week to stock up on as much items as you possibly can get your hands on. That is fear, and that is not going to help us be more healthy as a community and ultimately as a world. Yeah. So I hope this clears up some things for you. I hope it helps you understand, number one, why we need to comply, and number two, how we can make sure that we are complying and practicing social distance, even when we are not, we're not sure of what will happen next. Comply, follow the orders, and get your facts through the World Health Organization or through CDC. Thank you.